Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers. Today, I don't want to ruffle feathers with anybody, but I am going to get a little bit real here. And so stick with me. We've got to come up with some solutions here and really answer this deep question that's going on and that is going to be with us for a long time, because we know that even next season, COVID's going to come around again, and we've got this continual viral load that's going to hit us, whether that's a flu, anything else. So stick with me. I don't want to get too controversial here, but I want you guys to think about this and really put some thought into what health actually means and what disease actually means. So welcome, Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers. For all those that are new, go ahead and like or follow our page. There's a little button up there that you can hit as well that will tell you when we go live. Also share this with anybody that you know. We've got to get the message out there that true health comes from within, not from without. So we've got to do everything possible to get ourselves healthy from the inside out, because guess what? There's going to be another virus, there's going to be another bacteria, there's going to be more and more different pathogens that our body has to deal with, and that's just life. We're always going to be exposed to this. So the thought I was having was, is this type of coronavirus, is this COVID that bad of a virus? Is it like Ebola? Is it like some of these where everybody needs to wear a full body suit and all that stuff? Or is it more just our bad health? Hey Carol, good to see you. Is it just our bad health that is causing this? For anybody that's jumping on, go ahead and pop down below where you're watching from. Love to see you guys all over the country, all over the world. Shelly, good to see you. Okay, so is it really that bad of a virus? I'm going to say that for, again, 95% plus of the population, it's not that bad of a virus. I've known many people that have had COVID this year, and true COVID, they lost their sense of smell. It was very particular how it went through the body, and the vast majority of them did great with this. Hey Nancy, good to see you. Did great with this virus, and they've had way worse flus than they have this virus. Then there's going to be that percentage of the population that is actually going to be having a hard time with this virus. And why is that? Why is that? The media, the news, those that are the talking heads and everything. Hey Rand, good to see you. They're going to say that it is just chance, that oh my gosh, anybody could die from this. It's going to be bad. But think about this. Let's just go through some of the things that we do know. That even way back when China was having the issues, Italy, Spain, when it went through Europe, all these things, we know that the comorbidities are a huge factor in this. The research has shown that 98% of the people that have died with COVID had comorbidities. So what are comorbidities? High blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, prediabetes, being overweight or obese, lung issues, things like that. 98% of deaths have had comorbidities with them. So we know that it's not just, oh, you know what, any old healthy person could get this and die or get really sick. For the vast majority of people, it is going to be they have pre-existing issues, inflammation, all types of different things going on in the body. And yes, occasionally there'll be a person that really seemed healthy that had a harder time with this, but that can be any type of virus, that can be any type of bacteria, any type of surgery people can have a hard time with even though they're healthy. So, yes, there is going to be that small percentage of people, but for the vast majority of the statistics, it is going to be the people that are having the issues, are going to have comorbidities, other problems that they're dealing with. So think about the United States, and we know that 80% of the population is insulin resistant. We know that 70% of the population is overweight or obese. 60% of the population is going to have prediabetes or diabetes. But get this, by 2025, 50% of the population in the United States is going to be obese. Not just overweight, but obese. We're talking, 40, 50, 100 pounds overweight, not just, I need to lose 15, 20 pounds. We're talking obese. By 2030, it's going to be 60% of the population. So this is the great amplifier. COVID is the great amplifier that's basically pointing out all of those issues that we have as a society, and not even just on the health side. Think about this. How many people do you know that have gotten depressed over this time, that are eating more because of their emotions, kids that are getting depression, kids that are committing suicide, all these things? It's amplified the emotional state of our body as well. Hey, Paula in West Virginia, good to see you. So it is amplifying our emotional state as well. So we're already stressed out, we're already depressed, we're already anxious, we're already fearful and worried and all of these things as a society. And then you add something like this and everybody's wearing a mask and they're scared and they're wearing gloves, and we're hearing the news all the time, and it's got this, this roller going there of how many deaths and all this stuff. And so of course, if we were strong as a society and mentally, we could handle this. We could move on and go, you know what, we're going to step up, we're going to do what it takes to get healthy, we're going to do these things and move through. But so many people were in a bad state to begin with on that emotional side, just like on the physical health side. Hey Randy, good to see you there in Scottsbluff. That they are going to start out in this depleted state, and it's even just going to get worse. So of course we're going to have more suicides. Of course we're going to have all of these issues going on that we need to address, but it needed to be addressed a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and not wait until we have a pandemic going through that is going to amplify all of these different things. So when you talk about the leading causes of death in the United States, cancer, that is absolutely coming from the health of our bodies and the health of our environment and our mind, and is causing a lot of this stress. Hey Paula, we're talking about heart disease. Heart disease, over 600,000 deaths a year from heart disease. Guess how many of those are preventable? Probably 90 to 95% of that would be preventable by what somebody's putting in their mouth. Because remember, think about this. It's not just random luck, all this stuff, because you've got to guard what you're reading, you've got to guard what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're putting in your mouth, who you're hanging out with. All of those things are going to affect our body, and that's where cancer comes in and all these other conditions. But heart disease, over 600,000 people a year are dying from heart disease, and 95% of that is preventable. Smoking issues. We have people that are still smoking in this country even though they know what it does to the body. I'm going to say probably a big reason why Italy had such an issue and Spain had such an issue, because they have a huge smoking population in there. Autoimmune, third leading cause of death. When you lump all the autoimmune conditions together, guess what? Where does autoimmune come from? We know it's adrenals, it's blood sugar, it's leaky gut, it's food allergies, it's vitamin D deficiency, it's infections, all these different things. That is the state of our immune system, the state of our body. So many of the issues in our country, health-wise and disease-wise, we're already there, and this coronavirus has amplified that. It has made the health status worse. Yes, this virus is contagious. It does travel around potentially even more than the flu, some of those things. But if we were very strong starting out and our bodies were healthy as a society, as a culture, we would not be in this state. We would not be at that number of 450,000. We would not be at all these different things that the media is reporting all the time. If we had started on day one and said, we're going to get strong, we're going to exercise, we're going to do everything we can to get our immune systems to that place, we would not be in this state. And if we would have done this 5 years ago, it wouldn't have happened either. So, when you start looking at the statistics, if under age 20, under 20 years old, people are more likely to die from the flu. When you look at even under the age 40, it's still a minuscule, less than 1% of the people that have died from COVID are under 40. And why? Because, most people under 40 haven't had that much time to get there. Yeah, that was a good one, Barry. Mandate vitamin D. Absolutely. I always thought, they were talking about, hey, should we bribe people and give them $1,500 if they get the vaccine? I'm like, why don't you bribe people and give them $1,500 if they take vitamin C, vitamin D, or if they got the vaccination? Why don't you bribe somebody and give them $1,500 to take vitamin C, vitamin D, all these different immune markers there? So we know that those vitamins are going to be very, very important for the body, and we've got to keep going through there. If you look at 2017, 2018 flu, and there were 185 kids that died that year under 19, and through all of COVID, it's roughly the same amount for an entire year versus only 6 months of that flu. So, it's not just randomly hitting anybody. Those kids are going to that have way better chance of surviving this virus and doing well, because the health status of the kids are not as bad as a lot of people that are over 40. So again, what we've got to realize is that the health status of us as humans, especially in the United States, is just that depleted. And when you see that number next time, when you see that 450 or 460, or when they hit 500,000 and oh my gosh, the world's coming to an end, then remind yourself, you know what? This is not just a virus issue. This is a health issue. This is an immune system issue. This is an inflammation issue. And that is what is killing these people. And you'll hear it say, oh, but if they didn't get the COVID, they wouldn't have died. Well, you know what? It may speed up the process, and that sounds cold and not heartfelt, but it really just amplifies that. Yes, I feel for every single person that has lost somebody. I feel for every single person that is missing somebody at their table, like President Biden talks about, and all those things. And yet we know that the vast majority had these underlying comorbidities, and we've got to do everything we can today, tomorrow, and the next day to be as healthy as possible. Because think about this, why do people not step up and not do what they need to in order to be healthy? We know that eating candy every day is not good for us. We know smoking is not good for us. We know all of these things are not good, and yet guess what? People still do it because it's not that immediate thing. If every time somebody smoked, they had like horrific coughing and like, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack, anything like that, guess what? They probably wouldn't smoke. If you every time you ate some candy, sugar, cake, ice cream, whatever, you could feel your heart, like those blood vessels filling up with cholesterol and all the blockage and all this stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm having a heart attack every time you eat that. You probably want to eat it, but you don't. It's a slow process. It's a slow kill of all these things that we're doing to our bodies. So I encourage you, take action today. Do something for your health. Get your body as strong as possible, because it's not just about this virus. It's not just about the next virus. It's about your overall vitality for the rest of your life. Do something today to be as vibrant as you possibly can. So their body right here inside of you, your innate intelligence has that ability to heal, has that ability to be strong, and I encourage you to take action on it, give it everything it can, and like I always say, fall in love with the process of being healthy. It's a process, and you've got to do it, but you've got to fall in love with that process. Just like Julie said there, working on my health every single day. Every single day, you've got to do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and that is how you have that true vitality to live life to its fullest. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything you can do. So be well, guys. Share this with anybody that you know that needs this message. Love having you guys on. Make it a great day and stay strong out there.